This podcast is brought to you by Progressive. Are you driving your car or doing laundry right now? Podcasts go best when they're bundled with another activity, like Progressive home and auto policies. They're best when bundled too. Having these two policies together makes insurance easier and can help you save. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save nearly $800 on average. Quote a home and car bundle today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $793 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2021 and May 2022. Potential savings will vary.
Welcome to Mom and Dad Are Fighting, Slate's parenting podcast for Monday, November 20th, the Grammar Police edition. I'm Elizabeth Newcamp. I write the homeschool and family travel blog, Dutch Goose. I'm the mom of three littles, Henry, who's 11, Oliver, who's 9, and Teddy, who's 7. We live in Tokyo, Japan.
I'm Jamilah Lemieux, a writer, contributor to Slate's Care and Feeding Parenting column, and mom to Naima, who is 10, and we live in Los Angeles.
I'm Zach Rosen. I make another podcast. It's called The Best Advice Show, and I'm dad to Noah, who's 6, and Ami, who's 3. We live in Detroit, Michigan.
Well, on today's show, we have a letter from a parent who's not sure how to correct their child's grammar. Kids at school may talk one way, but does it need to be corrected at home? Then we will have recommendations and some advice from you as we dive into the mailbag. We'll see you back here in a minute. This episode is brought to you by KiwiCo. Imagine giving a gift that's not just a present, but a personalized journey into a child's passion, making them feel truly seen and loved. I recently gifted KiwiCo's Panda Crate, which is for babies, as a baby gift. These boxes are designed for ages 0 to 36 months. These are not just any toys, they're high-quality toys accompanied by this guide that really enhance the learning experience. And honestly, what makes KiwiCo truly special is its commitment to fostering this interactive learning. As a parent, I found their crates spanning various age groups to be our family's favorite. I'm on here talking about them all the time because I love facilitating hands-on activities that promote continuous learning and bonding. Unwrap more than a gift. Discover hands-on fun with KiwiCo. Get your first month free on any crate line at kiwico.com/momanddad. That's your first month free at kiwico.com/momanddad.
I want to tell you a little bit about Quince. They have timeless pieces that can transform any closet. So when it comes to dressing your family for the holidays or picking out gifts, head over to Quince. I don't want to brag, but I have 4 chore coats, one of which is the Organic Comfort Stretch Chore Jacket from Quince. It fits me so well. I can dress it up. I can wear a collared shirt underneath, or I can just wear a t-shirt or sweatshirt under. I really love this piece, and I think you will too. Quince offers a range of high-quality items with prices within reach, like 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50, washable silk tops and dresses, cotton sweaters, and comfy pants. With all Quince items, everything is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Get high-quality essentials at affordable prices for you and the whole family with Quince. Go to quince.com/momanddad for free shipping and 365-day returns on your order. That's QUINCE.com/momanddad to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/momanddad.
We're back and we're diving right into our listener question.
Dear Mom and Dad Are Fighting. Lately I've noticed that my 5-year-old has become aware of certain grammatical differences between the way our family speaks at home and the way that some of his black classmates speak. I'm not sure he's fully grasped the connection between the differences, but the other day I was walking along the waterfront with my kids and the older one said, "I don't see no boats," and without thinking, I corrected him. In response, he told me, "Some of the kids at school say it that way." It caught me off guard and I didn't really know what to do. I just want to make sure I handle this matter with sensitivity and respect for diverse linguistic backgrounds. It's important to me that my kids understand and appreciate the rich cultural diversity in their school. I would appreciate any advice and suggestions you might have for navigating this. How can I encourage him to embrace linguistic diversity but also maintain a strong foundation in the grammar rules that we use at home? Sincerely, Lexicon Enigma.
I love this question. The idea of a little white kid coming home and saying, "I don't see no boats," is so funny to me. I'm sorry. I think that, your child is very young. So he's gonna have a difficult time grasping this. But what you can explain to him is that different communities and different groups of people have different ways of talking, and that African Americans have their own way of speaking. It comes from many of us coming from the South, and it may sound a little bit different than what you're used to hearing, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's a valid way of talking. It's okay to talk that way, but that's not your community. That's not where you're coming from. And so it's important that you continue to speak in the way that your parents and your teacher instruct you in speaking, and if they stay at this school long enough and they pick up some of those things naturally, that's one thing, but there still should be this conversation now while they're still young about, respecting the differences between communities and, recognizing that something is different than what you may know, but that doesn't mean it's bad or wrong. It's just different.
Jamilah, can I ask you a question? I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they should be like correcting them? Because that to me is like what stuck out. And I guess, would I correct it or would I just repeat it back in the sentence the way that I would say it and hope for self-correction? So I completely agree with you that there needs to be a conversation because the child is clearly asking, right?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things is to say there are just different ways of speaking and they're both fine. But do you think they need to be correcting it, or you think it's like okay to let them, because they're 5, say these things and it will self-correct as long as you, the parent, are not adopting it? Or they should say like, no, in our home we say X.
I like what you said about like just repeating it the way you would normally say it, So if he says, I don't see no boats, you say, oh, you don't see any boats? And just leaving it there.
Because my hesitancy with like saying to them, but we say it this way, is that somehow that placed a value judgment.
Like
do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
well, in our family, we say it this way. That there's like inherently this idea that what you just said was wrong. This
is a head scratcher. I was definitely wondering, like, I think if it's like, if it persists and becomes like, more than I don't see no boats, I think that maybe, honestly, I don't feel qualified to talk about it. But I did have that same question. Does correcting inherently place a value judgment?
I think like if you watch enough TV cartoons, there are certainly characters on TV that speak with a variety of English dialects, showcasing where they're from. And I'm not just talking, Peppa Pig. And kids pick that stuff up. They like to say those things.
Yep. I
feel like this becomes tricky because of like our relationship with race in this country. And like and because I think for so long this was viewed as like the wrong way to speak. And so to me, there's this sensitivity of like, well, I don't want to convey that. But I also don't want to be disrespectful in that we're adopting a language that is not ours, that is not part of our community, right? And I guess my thought is that will eventually correct itself as they become deeper part of a community, but that as a parent, what they can do is not assign any judgment to it, particularly because the child is noticing, right? And so I think having that conversation, like Jamilah said, is important to say, to explicitly say there is nothing wrong with this. This is a language, a dialect, and it has its own set of rules. And then kind of leaving it at that and then repeating back the things in the way that you would say them.
If he's going to be in constant conversation with these kids, it's only natural that he would pick up some of these things. And what the parent has to remember is that they're still learning grammar at school. So they'll still be taught, the quote unquote proper way.
I do really appreciate the question, though. I think it's a really good, sensitive question. Thanks, Lexicon Enigma.
Yeah. So thanks for writing in with this great question. I hope this is helpful. But listeners, I'm sure you guys have some thoughts. So please let us know what you think. If you have any advice or think we got it wrong, let us know. You can always email us at momanddad@slate.com.
From Showtime and A24.
What do you love most about Whitney?
Comes a new series unlike any other.
Well, where do I even start?
Academy Award winner Emma Stone.
I like how you fight for us.
Nathan Fielder.
Money doesn't really matter when it's about doing the right thing.
And Benny Safdie.
You guys are strong, right? At the end of the day, you're going to survive, right?
Next question.
New episodes of The Curse, streaming now on Paramount Plus, only with the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan.
Your kids ask questions like, what's a recession? Or why do we have to pay rent? Maybe you wonder about these things too.
That's why Million Bazillion, the Webby-winning podcast from Marketplace, is perfect for you and your little ones.
Each week, we explore big questions about money so kids and parents can learn together and have fun along the way.
Listen to Million Bazillion wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Heidecker. You know me, Tim and Eric, Bridesmaids, and Fantastic Four. I'd like to personally invite you to listen to Office Hours Live with me and my co-hosts, DJ Doug Pound.
Hello.
And Vic Berger.
Howdy.
Every week we bring you laughs, fun, games, and lots of other surprises. It's live. We take your Zoom calls.
Music.
We love having fun. Excuse me?
Songs. Vic said something. Music.
Songs.
Music.
I like having fun. I like to laugh. I like to meet people who can make me laugh. Please subscribe now.
Hey listeners, the holiday season is upon us, and the Slate Shop is the perfect place to take the guesswork out of your gift list. Browse our selection of hand-poured candles, classy cocktail kits, stunning stationery, expertly crafted pasta makers, and everything in between. We even have official merch for the Slate fans in your life. From November 24th to November 27th, that's Black Friday through Cyber Monday, we're offering 30% off all items in the store. Get your gift sets, stocking stuffers, white elephant gifts, and a treat for yourself while you're at it, all by going to slate.com/shop. That's slate.com/shop. Happy shopping. All right, let's move on to recommendations. Jamilah, what are you recommending this week?
Okay, I am recommending an old standard, Jiffy Cornbread.
Oh, yes.
Jiffy Cornbread is so good. It's the best. I made some last week. I kind of messed it up because I took it out the oven too fast because I doubled the, I made 2 boxes because a box of Jiffy Cornbread only has technically 3 servings, which I never realized because it always lasts a little longer than that.
It's one serving for me.
But I topped it with a little honey butter. I just mixed some butter and some honey, and it was incredible. So as the holidays are coming up, if you're a cornbread person, if you're not a cornbread person, give Jiffy a try. It's really good.
Do you add milk or water?
Milk.
Hell yeah. I love that it's cornbread season. Cornbread's one of my favorite things.
Me too.
Do you have any other favorite cornbread recipes?
Once this was a long time ago, but I remember putting cheddar cheese in cornbread. And maybe I did it with a can of corn too. And it was very, very good.
I was going to say, are you fans of the corn in the cornbread?
I like corn in the cornbread.
Yeah, me too.
I remember last year for Thanksgiving, I made this really good Edna Lewis cornbread. I'll try to find it. I made it for Thanksgiving. I think it was her famous Southern cornbread, but cornbread, one of the greats
I'm jealous.
for this holiday season. You're not finding Jiffy cornbread mix in Tokyo?
Jiffy cornbread here. Zach, what are you recommending?
In the wake of our question from Lexicon Enigma, I wanted to share this great lesson that Noah taught me earlier this week. We were listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire's seminal song, September, and then she started singing her own version of it. And I'm like, wait, what, Noah? What are you saying? And she learned this cover version of September. She learned from her teacher, Miss Allison, about what a proper noun is. And I actually recorded her singing this version of September.
Proper nouns, say till you remember. Proper nouns, like August and September. Proper nouns, always need an uppercase.
Hey. I mean,
everything about that is perfect.
I was like, cute. Oh my God. I cannot believe how great this is. I couldn't have been happier to to be on the receiving end of that proper noun lesson. So if in case you didn't hear the lyrics, it's proper nouns, say so you remember, proper nouns like August and September, proper nouns always need an uppercase. I mean, that's the whole lesson.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh
Elizabeth,
my gosh.
what are you recommending?
I brought a visual aid to this audio medium so you can help me describe
Great.
what I'm recommending. Okay. I cannot believe I've not recommended these before. I have a child. I think I've told you. Someone always throws up on our trips.
Yep. Same.
These glasses, these are car sickness glasses. We've linked to them. They look so ridiculous.
They're perfect circles. They kind of look like Waldo's glasses if they were white frames. But there's 4 circles instead of 2. So 4 frames. So the 2 front frames, and then there's 2 peripheral frames, all the same perfect circle with, what is that, like a blue
liquid
gel inside?
It's a blue liquid. And as you move, the liquid moves.
So this blue liquid is in a smaller
circle.
Yeah, an inner circle.
Wow.
Okay. And because it's like on the side, the kids wear these. They look.
Can you put them on, please?
Completely ridiculous. Here you go. They fit over glasses. These are the children's version. They make adult versions. So they're very small on my really face cute. Right now. They look completely ridiculous. When the kids wear them, they don't throw up. We've worn them on boats.
Do we understand why?
Yes, because we know this because of course Theodore would not wear them until we demonstrated how they work. Motion sickness is just your brain being confused by what is happening with your eyes and what it's feeling in your ears, in the little part. Someone's going to write in because this is not right. But your brain doesn't know what to do, so it starts to feel it's like something is wrong. We are sick. We have to expel everything from the body because we are sick. The what our eyes are seeing does not match what our ears are feeling. This lets your eyes see what the liquid in your ear is feeling. It is so great, and I forgot how great they were until I forgot them. And we were driving, and Teddy got sick. So, guys, these car sickness glasses are great. I have an adult pair for me because I don't do well on very windy roads. They're great. They are so great.
How much?
They're like $7.99 on Amazon.
What a deal.
And I've heard, we've never worn them on a plane. We have worn them on boats and they worked. And we've heard if you get any kind of motion sickness on the plane, they can also help.
That's incredible. Great recommendation.
Get yourself. I'm so glad I brought them because Zach, your description was so much better than.
They're really fun.
One of these two will describe this better than me. All right. Well, before we go, we wanted to share some of the amazing notes and letters that you all have been sending us.
Yes. First, we have a note about baby-proofing the house, especially when the child is on the move. Katie said that they actually hired a baby-proofing service because they were intimidated by the prospect of drilling, finding wall studs, anchoring shelving units correctly, all while the baby was around. They highly recommend spending some money on peace of mind.
Yes. If you can afford to outsource, do it.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. We never baby-proofed anything just out of sheer laziness and ineptitude. But Katie, this is great.
Yeah, Jamilah and I both sort of agreed that overgoing on the baby-proofing, but there are things like anchoring dressers that have to happen.
Yeah.
There's just too much danger, I think, in not having large furniture anchored to the wall.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm sure that you could do that on TaskRabbit. You probably don't even need a baby-proofing specialist, but if you can afford it, go for it. Our next letter comes from Veronica, and it's in response to our episode about breaking the apology cycle.
Veronica said she was an adult who can't stop apologizing. And while she's struggling to stop, her girls never apologize. She remembers saying sorry after her oldest bumped her head on something. And the 4 or 5-year-old turned to her mother and said, "Why are you saying sorry? You didn't do anything." See, we're doing better.
We're doing better.
Way to go. I hope she feels good about her parenting. Because even at 4 or 5, her child knew, well, you didn't do anything.
I love that. I wonder if Veronica's from the Midwest, because I relate in that I think in the Midwest, we apologize way too much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jamilah and I both admitted to, on this episode, to just apologizing for things.
Constantly apologizing.
And have you figured out a way to
We do
unlearn
it here.
that
I'm trying.
tick?
I have made like an effort to try not to apologize when I read something wrong. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's so hard though.
You just set us back 3 seconds, Elizabeth. What the hell?
I know. And now I'm going to do another 3 by apologizing.
Our next letter comes from the episode entitled "My Partner's Parenting is Stuck in the 90s." A developmental psychologist who researches parenting and parents. Sorry. A developmental psychologist
do not apologize. Do not apologize.
Zach's our accountability partner.
That's our accountability partner.
Mm-hmm.
A developmental psychologist who researches parenting and parents' well-being says she and her partner actually have a similar fight to the original letter.
The fight being, of course, like one parent doing all the parenting research while the other one refuses. The developmental psychologist and her spouse got into a fight about this episode. Could that be more meta? She wanted him to listen so they could discuss, but he didn't want to because it wasn't something he's interested in.
Well, interestingly, the psychologist says that the responsibility of parenting research falls disproportionately on mothers in mixed-sex couples, and there's a false assumption that mothers research because they're interested in it or that they're good at it. Doing the work and even conveying the work to their partners all falls under this uneven division of mental labor. They finish the letter by saying, acknowledgement doesn't always make things better, but it is nice to have the inequality noticed and to be actively working towards a solution.
Finally, we want to wrap up today by noting how many kind notes came in for Zach when he talked about losing his dear friend, Sam Wall.
In addition to a couple of emails that came in, I got a couple DMs on Instagram from people who themselves have somehow survived a tragedy in their lives. And it's really one of the things that gives me hope, that helps me grieve. I so appreciate you all. Just like thinking about me and giving me some advice, and it's such an amazing community we have here. I'm really grateful for you all. So just thank you.
Thank you all so much for writing in. We truly always love hearing from you. So please keep the letters, DMs, whatever coming. We love them. You can reach us at momanddad@slate.com, and that's our show. Please subscribe, leave a rating and review, and tell your friends. This episode of Mom and Dad Are Fighting is produced by Rosemary Belson and Maura Currie. Alicia Montgomery is the VP of Slate Audio. For Jamilah Lemieux and Zach Rosen, I'm Elizabeth Newcamp. Thanks for listening.